Welcome to the BikeComputer Pro video tutorial. Uh, Here we start with the tracking. It will simulate a tracking session to experience it a little bit better. Generally we have these value buttons which you can drag and drop. You can close and open this panel. You get the turn instructions which are displayed. There are several buttons in the status bar. You can make a photo. Furthermore, you can set a waypoint and add a description to it. You can make a screenshot of the actual map. You see the GPS status in the status bar, and there are other options as pressing and holding the map on a certain point will plop up this dialog to set your home position. You can toggle to that the map will follow your position from the settings, and you can make an instant navigation calculation either to your home location to a certain coordinate, or again by tapping and holding the map on your desired location for a second. This will make a calculation from your current position to the desired position. You can show the help again, and you can quit a session. Okay, for the routing functionality, we have generated the map with your current position, and there are two lists, one on the right hand side, one on the left hand side. Left is for GPX imports, right is for the routes. You can create a route by tapping and holding the map, and multiple times this will create a route on the locations where you tap and hold the map. You can search a location in the status bar. It will center the map on the found location, and you can add another waypoint on this location which will be included in the route. You can drag and drop the waypoints of the route, which will start a recalculation of the route when you release them. And you can also delete points, which will start another recalculation of the remaining points. There are options for the routing that exist different servers which provide routing directions. One of them is offline, which makes all the calculations on the device without an internet connection. This will work only for small distances and is better if you use it really only if you're offline. For larger calculations you will need to use an online like the other three ones. Furthermore, you can select either car, bike or foot navigation. When done, you can create an elevation profile of the created route, which will be calculated and shown. If you are okay with this route, you can save it, give it a title, it will be written to the database. Now it will appear in this list on the right hand side. You can click it and select it for your ride. It will get this blue check. When you now start the tracking, it will be available to follow it during your ride, and if it includes turn-by-turn instructions, these will be shown. Now back in the routing view, there's the GPX import. You can click the button and the app will show all the GPX files which can be found on the SD card, either internal and external. If you don't find your GPX anyways, you can still navigate to it manually using the manual button. If you want to import such an GPX, just click it. It will be imported and shown. If you want to use it for your tracking, click it in the list and select it for your ride. It will get again this blue check. And you can also deselect and import if you don't want anymore this import to follow it during your tracking. And when you click a route, you have other options. You can change its title, you can share it to other apps which will actually share the GPX file of it. You can export it, which means quite the same. It will put the GPX file to the applications directory and you can delete it. You can synchronize your routes to Google Drive, where you can save them or synchronize them between different devices. If you create your routes on a device and on another device, you can import them and use them for tracking, or you just make a backup in the cloud. There are other options, as you can also locally save your routes on your SD card if you have to reinstall the app, or if you change your device. You can copy just this folder from your SD card to the new device and import them from the app on the new device. You can enter coordinates to add them to the route, and you can change the resolution of the elevation profile. Now to the sessions view. In BikeComputer Pro, your sessions are ordered in different categories, which are shown in different tabs. I have 4 tabs here. You can change the amount of tabs to 5, which will create another tab. There's a maximum of 10, I think. You can change the name of the category just by clicking its title. And to move a session from one category to another, click and hold it for a second. This dialog comes up where you can select the category of this session. You can change the total distance by clicking it to add to there's the sum of all sessions from the database, and you can add or decrease this sum by an amount. When you click a session, you can do different things. You can see it. This is the simulated session of before, therefore it has no elevation which would come up now, and neither some heart rate which would be shown. You can open the values of this session. You can make a screenshot of it. Then you can continue this session. You can share it as GPX. You can upload it to the Trainingsverwaltung. This is kind of a feature which you can read about in the settings of this part. You can change its title, you can tweet it or post it to Facebook, and you can also select this for your right to follow it during tracking. It will get this blue check, and you can, if you deselect it, it will get the map again. And you can also export the as GPX to the SD card and finally delete it. You can synchronize your sessions as before to Google Drive. You can back up them locally, and finally you can import an GPX as session. Okay, to the settings. First of all, the map settings, the map selection. There are 6 different map styles. Actually, one of them is offline, which is the most important and which I will go further in now. The other 5 online ones you can try. These are different renderings of OpenStreetMap data. But offline will, if you select it, show in this list below it the currently available map files, which are found automatically. If you select online, this list is not important, so it won't be shown. To download a map, just click the button, select your desired continent and country which you want to download. I selected a small one here which downloads quite fast. If it's done, you can select this entry and see it. It will show the map of the Azores, which is rather small. You can go back and select this map by clicking it for your right. It will get a blue check, as usually. And you can also delete a map which you do not need longer. If a map is not found automatically in this list, you can manually add it from your SD card, navigating it on this list. Now you can select the font size of the offline maps. You can turn on and off the rotating map, which will, when turning it on, make a map which is directed according to your driving direction. You can turn on and off the caching of the map, which should be usually turned on. You can toggle the showing of the map waypoints. Waypoints are these photos and waypoints you can set during tracking. If you have this turned on, they will be shown during tracking and during routing, or which you made. If you turn it off, they will be shown only on the session where they were made. Then you can turn off the setting of the home position during tracking. You can scale map tiles for better readability on large resolution devices. You can lock the display if you want to force the display to be turned on during tracking, either dimmed or with full brightness. And you can force the display to a certain orientation, either in portrait or in landscape. This may be useful if you put your device on your handlebar in a certain orientation during your ride. Then we have again this map following lock, which is already available in the tracking. You can use it to turn off the following of the map to your location. There are OpenEnro maps which provide special renderings of the map files. For example, they have elevation lines and especially rendered cycle paths. You will need a map file from the OpenEnro maps page to use them, and you can select either a biking theme, which will be normal, or hiking. Finally, there is a custom theme which you can use to customize the rendering of the offline map files. This is quite a bit complex. Go on the website and read about it, how to do this. Now for the screen where you can set up the tracking, there are these value buttons, and by clicking them you can remove one of them. So you can customize these values to only have the ones available which you need. If you want to add them, which you removed, click Add Field. You can adjust the space which the value buttons take off the screen. You can change the grid size either to 3 or 2. You can change the colors of the tracks. For the track of the tracking, the route color and the import color. Do this by clicking the desired color on the circle and confirming it by tapping on the center. You can change the background of the value buttons. You can toggle the turn instructions. Now they are turned off. On again. You can change the font size of the value buttons. And that was it here. Now you can log into Twitter, to Facebook, and log out again if you're logged in. Okay, audio feedback. You can turn the audio feedback off generally on this first row. You can indicate if the foreseen route was lost. This means if you selected a track or an import or another session during tracking, this will check if you're following this route, and if you leave it to a certain amount, which you can set up here. These are metrics. When you set up miles, those will be done in foot. Usually these are 75 meters distance after when the app will announce that you left your trail. You can repeat this announcement until you get back on your trail. You can set to announce the average of the last kilometer or mile if you use miles. You can announce the remaining distance, and you can announce turn-by-turn instruction. Here you can also set the distance, which amount of meters or feet this instruction will be announced before the actual turning point. You can toggle to use to hear information about elevation. This will announce if you are rising or declining elevations on mountains. You can toggle to hear the distance every 10 kilometers or 10 miles. You can hear the driving time every hour, and you can set up your heart frequency based announcements. You can select either to hear the zone which you are actually driving in and the actual heart rate. These announcements are done in a certain frequency which you can set up. Here was it 120 seconds. Now for calories, you can either select jogging or cycling. For jogging, you need to enter your weight here in kilos. If you use English values, these are lbs. And for cycling, you need to add the weight of the bike and the type of the bike. For Bluetooth, the app supports Bluetooth sensors 2.0 from Polar or 4.0 from all manufacturers. To connect a 4.0 device, click Bluetooth scan. The app will turn on Bluetooth and has found this HRM device. Click it in the list and the app will try to connect it and look if it can measure heart rate. In this case this was positive and this is confirmed. Now it is selected in the last line, and you can generally turn on and off the Bluetooth sensor in the first line. For Polar 2.0 devices, you actually need to pair the device with the Android phone. For 4.0 you don't need that. And you can set up your training zones here, enter your age, and the app will calculate your training zones. You actually see the thresholds between the training zones, and you can customize them according to your experiences. Now, going to GPS settings, you can change the GPS settings which are used for tracking. Usually the app comes up with the settings of 10 meters and 1000 milliseconds between each GPS fix. You can decrease these values to increase the sensibility of the GPS, but this will also increase the usage of the battery and your battery drain. So you can change them if you want, but I recommend these values. You can set up the speed threshold, which is used to determine when you stop and when you move, as the GPS will not actually send 0.0 if you stop, but it will send something like 3.5. So this is used to detect that you are not moving anymore. If you want the app to use the app for walking, you should lower this value, as otherwise the time measuring won't be exact anymore. For cycling, I recommend these values 5 to 8 kilometers per hour. If you use miles, there are other values. The barometric sensor is recommended if your device has one provided to measure the elevation, as it's more accurate than using the GPS values. You need to set up a base elevation, as this sensor does not know from the beginning on which elevation you start. Here in Berlin we have 42 meters. Now, the automatic backup will save your databases every 2 weeks to the SD card. You should leave that on. And you can correct the elevation data if you are not satisfied with the elevation recorded by the app. This will, after a session has been recorded, correct the elevations based on data from the internet. You can delay the saving of a new session, and here you can switch between metric and English units. There's a link to this video tutorial. You can help to translate the app in a lot of languages. You can contact me. You can show the help again. And you can save and view the log. And you can send this log to me if you experience an issue with the app. Thank you.